I just love this scent so much. Have you ever made a candle and wondered why the scent isn't as strong as you expected? Maybe it smelled great when you were making it, but when you light the candle and start burning it, there's no scent at all. Or maybe there is a scent and it is really weak compared to what you smelled when the candle was not lit. Unfortunately, that's something a lot of beginner candle makers experience. But today I'm going to be sharing a list of reasons as to why your candles may not smell that great, along with some tips on how you can fix this issue so each and every single candle you make can smell amazing. If you're new here, you can call me Serene. I am the owner of Serene Aromas. Let's dive right in. First off, when making your candles, I want you to consider the type of wax that you're using. As we all should know, there are several different types of waxes that you can use to make your candles, from paraffin to coconut, soy, and so much more. And each and every single one of those waxes hold different fragrance loads. For instance, paraffin is known to be a wax that holds very small fragrance loads, as little as 6%. But with that, we know that paraffin wax has a lot of bad chemicals within the wax itself that prevents it from being healthy for the human body. So if you're looking for different alternatives or more natural waxes, you can lean more towards coconut, soy, and some other waxes. But what I do recommend is finding the best wax for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And if it is a stronger scent, then I would definitely recommend a more natural wax. For instance, I use soy wax to make my candles, and I've learned that as little as 8% of a fragrance load would work perfect for some of my candles. But what I recommend is that you start with a higher number and go down based on what you experience with your specific candle wax. So if you're using soy wax, I recommend using 10% and going down from there based on what you experience when you're testing your candle. But what I want you to also consider is that using too much of a fragrance load can actually be negative for your candle. You can start seeing something like candle sweating, which is not great for your candles because the oil is only rising to the top of the candle wax, which means it didn't bind properly. So like I said, just experiment with the fragrance load that you're using for your specific candle wax based on recommendations from the company itself. Now, another thing that I want you to do when you're making your candles is consider adding the fragrance at the right temperature. If you don't already know, some fragrances bind better with the candle wax when it is at a higher temperature. However, I want you to know that some fragrances reach what's called the flash point at a very low temperature. What happens is that the fragrance burns off at the temperature, which means you won't be able to smell it at all. So what that means is when you're adding your fragrance into your wax, you have to add it to the right temperature so that it doesn't burn off, but also so that your candle wax and the fragrance mixes together really well. For each and every single fragrance that you purchase, your company will tell you what the flash point of the fragrance is and the best temperature at which it should be used with the candle wax. So definitely follow those recommendations and make sure you don't add the fragrance at a too low temperature that would prevent it from binding completely with the wax. And once you pour that fragrance into the wax, I want you to stir that for 2 minutes. This is a simple but very powerful trick because stirring for 2 minutes will help your candle wax bind completely with the fragrance that you've added. So make sure you don't skip this step. And another thing that I want you to consider when you're using your fragrance is the quality of the fragrance. Just like all the different types of waxes that we know about, fragrance are not all the same quality. Some work better in candles while others don't. So you have to do a lot of research to find the right company and the right type of oils that are meant for candle making specifically. For instance, essential oils are not always best for candle making simply because of the low temperature of their flash point. Some burn off at temperatures as low as 100 degrees, so they're not really recommended for candle making. However, if you do the correct research and find information about the specific essential oil that you're intending on using, you find that some have higher flash point. Now, moving on from the candle fragrance itself, I want you to consider the wick size that you're using. As you should already know, the wick size does matter. If you have a wick that is too small for the candle jar that you're using, you'll notice that the candle is tunneling, meaning that it is burning straight down the middle as opposed to completely burning to the edge of the candle jar. And if you have a candle wick that is too big for the candle jar that you're using, you'll notice that the scent burns off and reaches the flash point because of the high flame. So basically, the heat is too much for the fragrance itself. So what I recommend doing is testing out several different types of wicks and wick sizes to make sure that they fit the proper candle jar that you're using. And if you don't want to go through that process, I have a major trick for you when it comes to testing out your candle wick. I will attach that video for you right here so that you can tune in to that. So now you've made your candle, you believe that you used the correct wax and the fragrance load, you added the fragrance at the right temperature, and you mixed it in with the wax for 2 minutes. And you also believe that you have the right wick size. Now, the next thing that I want you to do is let that candle rest for at least 2 weeks. Yes, I said 2 weeks. This is gonna be what's called the curing time for your candle. This means that you let your candle wax and your fragrance fully sit together and mix really well for 2 weeks before burning your candle. This time is very important because it allows your candle wax and your fragrance to fully immerse together so that your candle smells better when it's burning. So please do not skip this part. And another thing that I want you to consider, which is not something a lot of candle makers think about, is the container that they're using for their candles. This may seem minimal, but having a glass jar or a candle tin is better for candle making, simply because the glass jars hold the temperature of the flame a little bit better, which means the heat is spreading more evenly throughout the candle burning. This will help the candle release the fragrance better compared to some other containers. What I recommend is finding a glass jar that is very sturdy and very strong and very thick so that when your candle is burning, the glass does not crack. So these are the reasons as to why your candle may not smell that great when you're burning it. By following these steps, I hope you notice a great improvement in your candle's scent throw, whether it is the cold scent throw or the hot scent throw. Let me know in the comments if you have any further questions on the candle making process, and make sure to like and subscribe for more candle making videos. See you next time. Bye.